Good afternoon, happy Tuesday. This is the 22nd of October in the year 2024. It is such a blessing and a privilege to be here. Today, God has blessed us to be able to see another day. And He's given us our reasonable portion of health and strength. And for that, I am so glad. Oh, yes, I testify in because God is so good to each and every one of us. Ah, dear God. As I sit before you to speak, I pray to you that my soul you will keep. And if I should die before I finish, I pray to you, dear God, in the name of Jesus, that any prosperity will be forgiven. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And that prayer is for each of us, and wherever you let it stand for Him, please feel welcome to. God loves you. He loves us one more. Today, I am so thankful and so blessed to have such a rich topic. Someone holding something over your head. Stop the madness and regain control of your life. Then help someone else. How about that? If someone holding something over your head, now why would that be? And you can probably answer and think of what I'm going to say. It is because people love to have power over someone else's life. They love it. But there's a sign of dominance and control. People love to dominate. Some people, many people love to dominate and control other people. The origins of the phrase can be traced back to ancient times when rulers would hold swords or other weapons above the heads of their subjects as a sign of dominance and control. Throughout his story and also her story too, many powerful individuals have used this tactic to maintain their authority over others. Understanding hold over someone's head. Oh yes. Now let's go to holding something over someone's head. Why do people like that? It's dominance and control. Let me write that down. Put that here. Holding someone over someone's head. My goodness, there's some terrible people in this world. Now, in my Microsoft Bing, and that was in, I think that was the sign of dominance, that's in Bing also. And we're back in Microsoft Bing. The idiom hold over someone's head is a commonly used expression in English language. It refers to a situation where one person has power or control over another person by using something that they know about them as leverage. This can be anything from a secret, embarrassing information, or even a favor that was done for them in the past. I know all of us understand that. Oh my goodness, power and control. I want to go to this right here that I came across, thanks be to God. It's by Lisa Feldman Barrett, PhD. She's a scientist, a university distinguished professor at Northeastern University, and she's been at Massachusetts General Hospital with appointments at the Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard Medical School, and she's had different awards, and she's among the top 1% most cited scientists in the world for her research in psychology and neuroscience. So, and this is ideas.ted.com, and this is really, really good, talking about power and dominance over someone else, power and control. People hold things over people's head, and that's the only thing that do it for is for power and control. Is someone holding something over your head? Hello, Catherine. Thank you for watching me. Welcome, welcome. It's something you can talk back to me too. Okay? People's words and actions can actually shape your brain. A neuroscientist explains how. And this is ideas.ted.com. I always give where I get my information. And this was posted, published November 17th, 2020. And this is very important because we're talking about power and dominance. And if I know you know people who love to exercise power and dominance over other people. But after this webcast today, whoever they are, wherever they are, whenever the time is that they hear this webcast, you will be free from that if you exercise what we talk about today and if you take into mind what we talk about today. We humans are social species. We live in groups, we take care of one another, we build civilization. Our ability to cooperate has been a major adaptive advantage. It has allowed us to colonize virtually every habitat on Earth and thrive in more climates than any other animal, except maybe bacteria. Oh, a bacteria can find you anywhere, can Part of being a social species, it turns out, is that we regulate one another's body budgets. The ways in which our brains manage the bodily resources we use every day. This is so interesting. This is people's words and actions can actually shape your brain. And she is explaining why. I just want to go back to that topic there, that subject. It turns out we regulate one another's body budgets. My goodness. The ways in which our brains manage the bodily resources we use every day. And I'm going back to this. I'm repeating this. For your whole life, outside of your awareness, you make deposits into other people's body budgets. You hear that? Body budgets. As well as withdrawals. And others do the same for you. So we give and we take, okay? This has pros and cons as well as profound implications for how we live our lives. My goodness. And then we have a point here, and we'll probably get back to it, but it's right here. It says your family, friends, and even strangers continue and contribute to the structure and function of your brain and help it keep your body humming along. Now, how do the people around you influence your body budget and rewrite your adult brain? How do they do that? Well, your brain changes its wiring after new experiences, a process called plasticity, okay? Microscopic parts of your neurons change gradually every day. Dendrites become bushier, and their associated neural connections become more efficient. Little by little, your brain becomes tuned and pruned as you interact with others. You hear that? Little by little, your brain becomes tuned and pruned as you interact with others. Some brains are more attentive to the people around them and others less so. But everybody has somebody. Ultimately, your family, friends, neighbors, and even strangers. See, I told you we'll come back to this, didn't I? contribute to your brain structure and function, and help your brain keep your body home. Now, this co-regulation has measurable effects, okay? So when you're with someone you care about, your breathing can synchronize, as can the beating of your heart, whether you're in casual conversation or a heated argument. This sort of physical connection happens between infants and caregivers, therapists and clients, even people taking a yoga class or singing in a choir together. My goodness. There's another stress comment here. If you raise your voice, adjust your eyebrows, you can affect what goes on inside other people's bodies. And if you think about it, that is so true. Facial expression. They control things that go on in our bodies because when we see somebody look a certain way, we say, look, she looks funny, you look funny, and then that affects us. So I understand this. That's why I'm presenting this because it is so, so good. We also adjust each other's body budget by our actions. If you raise your voice, adjust your eyebrows, you can affect what goes on inside other people's bodies, such as their heart rate or the chemicals carried in their bloodstream. If a loved one is in pain, you can lessen their suffering merely by holding their hand. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Being a social species has all sorts of advantages for us humans, including the fact that we live longer if we have close, supportive relationships with others. Studies show that if you and your partner feel that your relationship is intimate and caring, that you are responsive to each other's needs, and that life seems enjoyable when you're together, both of you are less likely to get sick. And if you're already sick with a serious illness, such as cancer or heart disease, you're more likely to get better. These studies were conducted on married couples, but the results appear to hold for close friendships to uh, and for pet owners too. So let me go back because if you've listened to me and watched me anytime, you know I don't like to make these mistakes. Okay? Now, and if you're already sick with a serious illness, such as cancer or heart disease, you're more likely to get better. These studies were conducted on married couples, but the results appear to hold for close friendships and for pet owners too. Now, in general, being a social species is good for us, but there are also disadvantages. We also get sick and die earlier when we persistently feel lonely, possibly years earlier, based on the data. Without others helping regulate our body budgets, we bear an extra burden inside. Have you ever lost someone to a breakup or a death and felt like you lost a part of yourself? I know I have. And I don't like to use the word loss, but if someone has transitioned into eternity, or even like a breakup, uh, it could be a friendship, platonic, it could be a romantic relationship. I felt that. It felt like I lost a part of myself. That's because you did. You lost a source of keeping your bodily systems in balance. A surprising disadvantage of shared body budgeting is its impact. on empathy. When you have empathy for other people, your brain predicts what they will think and feel and do. The more familiar the other people are to you, the more efficiently your brain predicts their inner struggles. The whole process feels natural, as if you were reading another person's mind, and that is so true. I think about mom and dad. They can take up each other's sentences. They knew each other so well. They were married for so many years, and they knew each other. They did. And after Daddy transitioned into eternity in 1991, Mom and I were sitting on the back porch, and she had one more thing she had to do to complete Daddy's burial. And she told me, she said, it seemed so fun. It seems like there was, I mean, she had done all, and there was nothing else to do. And it really, really hurt her because she felt like that after she did that, I mean, the whole process of her dad was over. And I know you understand what I'm saying. I understood what she said because they've been married so long to each other. And to me, it seemed like they were brother and sister because they were so close to each other and they understood each other so well. So, and of course, when Daddy left, a part of him, he took a piece of Mama with him. And I think about my brothers and my sisters when they left us, they transitioned, they each took a part of me. They took a part of me. So I'm going to go back to this now. But I totally understand. The whole process feels natural, as if you were reading another person's mind. It's saying, but there's a catch. When people are less familiar to you, it can be harder to empathize. Okay, I'm going back here. Here, they take withdrawals from your body. My goodness. And it's unpleasant. And this may be one reason why people sometimes fail to empathize with those who look different or believe different things, and why it can feel uncomfortable to try. It's metabolically costly for our brains to deal with things that are hard to predict. If you don't mind, I'm going back here and do this again. Have you ever lost? And like I said, I like to say lost because we know that there's somewhere in eternity somewhere. And then, we know that, but I'm not going to dwell on that. Have you ever lost someone to a breakup? I did write this, so I'm reading something right away. Or death, or felt like you lost a part of yourself. That's because you did. You lost the source of keeping your bodily systems in balance. A surprising disadvantage of shared body budgeting is its impact on empathy. When you have empathy for other people, your brain predicts what they will think and feel and do. The more familiar the other people are to you, the more efficiently your brain predicts their inner struggles. The whole process feels natural, as if you were reading another person's mind. But there's a catch. When people are less familiar to you, it can be harder to empathize. You might have to learn more about the person, an extra effort that translates into more withdrawals from your body budget, which can feel unpleasant. This may be one reason why people sometimes fail to empathize with those who look different or believe different things, and why we can feel uncomfortable to try. It's metabolically possible for our brains to deal with things that are hard to predict. No wonder people create so-called echo chambers, surrounding themselves with news and views that reinforce what they already believe. It reduces the metabolic cost and unpleasantness of learning something new. Unfortunately, it also reduces the odds of learning something that could change a person's mind. There are always pros and cons, aren't there? We also regulate each other with words. A kind word may calm you, like when a friend gives you a compliment at the end of a hard day. And a hateful word may cause your brain to predict threat and flood your bloodstream with hormones, squandering precious resources from your body's budget. The power of words over your biology can span great distances. And the writer said, I can text the words I love you from the us to my closest friend in Belgium. And she could text it from here to there. And even though she cannot hear my voice or see my face, I will change her heart rate, her breathing, and her metabolism. So she's going to send a text from the United States to Belgium. And she said it can change her heart rate. It can change her breathing and her metabolism. And they are hundreds of miles away from each other. Or someone could text something ambiguous to you like, is your door locked? And odds are that it would affect your nervous system in an unpleasant way, and that's for sure. Your nervous system can be perturbed not only across distances but also across centuries. You hear that? Your nervous system can be perturbed not only across distances but also across centuries. Oh, yes. If you've ever taken comfort from ancient texts such as the Bible or the Quran, you've received body budgeting assistance from people long gone. Books, videos, and podcasts can warn you or give you the truth. These effects might not last long, but research shows that we all can treat one another's nervous systems with mere words in very physical ways that go beyond what you might suspect. And some people know that those words we're talking about the power and dominance of the people. We're talking about people holding things over other people's heads. It's the power and dominance. Why do the words you encounter have such wide-ranging effects inside you? Because many brain regions that process language also control the insides of your body, including major organs and systems that manage your body budget. Now, today is the first day I've ever encountered the phrase body budget. That's good. I'm learning more and more. Oh, yes. So these brain regions are contained in what scientists call the language network and guide your heart rate up and down. They adjust the glucose entering your bloodstream to fuel your cells. They change the flow of chemicals that support your immune system. This is something really, really. The power of words is not a metaphor. It's in our brain wiring. We see similar wiring in other animals. For example, neurons that are important for birth songs also control the organs of a bird's body. Wow. Words then are tools for regulating human bodies. You'll hear me say wow, you'll hear me say different things because I love to learn and I love to relay information. I do. Words then are tools for regulating human bodies. Other people's words have a direct effect on your brain activity and your bodily systems, and your words have the same effect on other people. Whether you intend that effect is irrelevant. It's how we're wired. Does this mean that words can be harmful to your health in small doses? Not really. And when someone says things you don't like, insults you, or even threatens your physical safety, you might feel awful. Oh yes, oh yes, no might about it. Your body budget is taxed in that moment, but there is no physical damage to your brain or body. Your heart might race, your blood pressure might change, you might doze or sweat, but then your body recovers and your brain might be a bit stronger afterwards. Your sweat is oozing out of you. I think we've all had those feelings and those reactions in our body. Talking about our body budget is taxed. My goodness. Evolution gifted you with a nervous system that can cope with temporary metabolic changes and even benefit from them. Occasional stress can be like exercise. Brief withdrawals from your body budget followed by deposits create a stronger, better you. But if you're stressed over and over and over again without much opportunity to recover, the effects can be far more grave. If you constantly struggle in a simmering sea of stress and your body budget accrues an ever deepening deficit, that's called chronic stress. It does more than just make you miserable in the moment. Over time, anything that contributes to chronic stress can gradually eat away at your brain and cause illness in your body. This includes physical abuse, verbal aggression, social rejection, neglect, and countless other creative ways that we social animals torment one another. It's important to understand that the human brain doesn't seem to distinguish between sources of chronic stress. But if your body budget is already depleted by the circumstances of life, like physical illness, financial hardship, hormone surges, not sleeping or exercising enough, your brain becomes more vulnerable to stress of all kinds. This includes the biological effects of words designed to threaten, bully, or torment you or people you care about. Right? When your body budget is continually burdened, momentary stressors pile up, even the kind you normally bounce back from. It's like children jumping on a bed. The bed might withstand 10 children bouncing, but the 11th one snaps the bed frame. Wow. Simply put, a long period of chronic stress can harm a human brain. When you're on the receiving end of sustained verbal aggression, studies show you're more likely to get sick. Scientists don't understand all the underlying mechanisms yet, but we know it happens. So this is the scientist that I am using here. This is scientific research, okay? Now these studies of verbal aggression tested average people across the political spectrum, left, right, and center. If people insult you, the words will harm your brain the first or second time, or maybe even the 20th. But if you're exposed to verbal aggression continually for months, or if you live in an environment that relentlessly taxes your body budget, words can physically injure your brain. Not because you're weak or a so-called snowflake, but because you're a human. Your nervous system is bound up with the behavior of other humans, for better or for worse. You can argue what the data means or if it's important, excuse me, but it is what it is. It's the fundamental dilemma of the human condition. The best thing for your nervous system is another human, and the worst thing for your nervous system is another human. Scientists are often asked to make research useful to everyday life, and these findings about words, chronic stress, and disease are a perfect example. There is a real biological benefit when people treat one another with basic human dignity. A realistic approach to our dilemma is to realize that freedom always comes with responsibility. We are free to speak and act, but we are not free from the consequences of what we say and do. We might not care about those consequences, or we might not agree that those consequences are justified, but they nonetheless have costs that we all pay. Mm, mm, mm. We pay the cost of increased health care for illnesses like diabetes, cancer, depression, heart disease, and Alzheimer's disease that are worsened by chronic stress. We pay the cost of ineffective government when politicians spew vitriol at one another and make personal attacks instead of having reasoned debate. We pay the cost of a citizenry that struggles to discuss politically charged topics with one another productively, a standoff that weakens our democracy. Mm, mm, mm. As our society makes decisions about health care, the law, public policy, and education, we can ignore our socially dependent nervous systems, or we can take them seriously. Our biology won't just go away. Our biology won't just go away. My goodness. And so this is accepted from her new book, which was in 2020, uh, 7.5 Lessons About the Brain by Lisa Feldman Barrett. All right. This is so good. And you can even watch the TED Talk, okay? You can even watch that on TED. All right, now we talked about that. And now we're going into the talk about people. Hold things over other people's heads. And I'm going to tell you 10 ways to stop giving power to other people over you according to the psychotherapist, okay? And then I'm also going to talk about the 5 manipulation tactics narcissists use to get inside your head. People that's narcissists, they're tricky sometimes, all the time if you don't know their tactics. And that's where it gets us. Education is so necessary. We need to know what's going to come upon us, possibly. We need to know. Now, we'll go to yourtango.com. Yourtango.com. And this is Shahida Arabi. And this was January 3rd, 2023, that this was published. The 5 manipulation tactics narcissists use to get inside your head. And we just talked about the body budget and how people can affect your body language, affect your brain, shape your brain. So here's some of the tactics, 5 manipulation tactics narcissists use to get inside your head. When they're full of themselves, there's no room for you. When they're full of themselves, there's no room for you. Now, in popular culture, the term narcissism is thrown around quite loosely, and it is. It is thrown about around loosely, usually referring to vanity and self-absorption. This reduces narcissism to a common quality that everyone possesses and downplays the symptoms demonstrated by people with the actual disorder. While narcissism does exist on a spectrum, narcissism as a full-fledged personality disorder is quite different. While narcissism does exist on a spectrum, narcissism as a full-fledged personality disorder is quite different. People who meet the criteria for narcissistic personality disorder can operate in extremely manipulative ways within the context of intimate relationships due to their deceitfulness, their lack of empathy, and their tendency to be interpersonally exploitative. My, my, my. It's important in any kind of relationship that we learn to identify red flags when interacting with people who display narcissistic traits so we can better perfect ourselves and protect ourselves from exploitation. We can set boundaries and make informed decisions about who we keep in our lives. We have to, people from now on, we can help people. People can be saved from destruction by these narcissistic personality disorders. So watch out for these 5 common narcissistic manipulation tactics. Number 1, the cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. Narcissists and those with antisocial traits tend to subject romantic partners to 3 phases in a relationship: idealization, devaluation, and finally, discard. discard. Phrase idealization. The phrase, which often happens most strongly during the early stages of dating a relationship, consists of putting you on a pedestal, making you the center of his or her world, being in contact with you frequently, and showering you with flattery and praise. This is a technique known as love bombing, okay? And now most, it is how most victims get sucked in. They are tired of the games people play with each other in communication and are flattered by the constant attention they get from the narcissist. My goodness, narcissist. You may be fooled into thinking that this means the narcissist is truly interested in you, but in fact, he or she is interested in making you dependent on their constant praise and attention. And if you're not careful, it's easy to get baited in, isn't it? It's very easy. So we have to know what to look for. We have to recognize, we have to know first, and then recognize the red flag. The next step here is evaluation. The devaluation phase is next, and it is when you're left wondering why you were so abruptly thrust off the pedestal. The narcissist will suddenly start to blow hot and cold, criticizing you covertly and overtly, putting you down, comparing you to others, emotionally withdrawing from you, and giving you the silent treatment when you fail to meet their standards. Since the hot aspect of this phase relies on intermittent reinforcement, in which the narcissist gives you inconsistent spurts of idealization phase throughout, you become convinced that perhaps you are at fault and you can control the narcissist's reactions. You think you can, okay? You have to understand that the man or woman at the beginning of a relationship never truly existed. My goodness, that person that portrays never truly existed. The true colors are only now beginning to show, so it will be a struggle as you attempt to reconcile the image that the narcissist presented to you with his or her current behavior. My goodness. Now we go to discard. During this phase, the narcissist abandons his or her victim in the most horrific, demeaning ways possible to convince the victim that he or she is worthless. This could range from leaving the victim for another lover, humiliating the victim in public, being physically aggressive, and a whole range of other demeaning behaviors to communicating to the victim that he or she is no longer important. Isn't that awful? How people build you up just to tear you down. That's a narcissist, okay? And never, never, ever forget that. They build you up just to tear you down. That's awful. But there are people in this world that do it consistently every night, so peace, so people. Next, number two is gaslighting, making you think you're the problem. What is gaslighting? Making you think you're the problem. Most abusive relationships contain a certain amount of gaslighting and narcissistic manipulation techniques these people use to convince you that your perception of the abuse is inaccurate. During the devaluation and discard phases, the narcissist will often remark upon your emotional instability, your issues, and displace blame for his or her abuse as your fault. People use of phrases such as, you provoked me, you're too sensitive, I never said that, or you're taking things too seriously. After the narcissist's abusive outbursts are common and are used to gaslight you into thinking that the abuse is indeed your fault or that it never even took place. Have you ever seen someone do that or seen and heard? Has it ever been done to you? You don't have to answer that. But those things, they can try on me in my early life. But thank God I got away from that. Hallelujah. The self-doubt enables you to stay with an abusive relationship even when it's clear that the relationship is a toxic one because you're led to mistrust your own instincts and interpretation of events. And have you ever heard someone say, well, if I hadn't done this, then he wouldn't have done that, or she wouldn't have done this, but I said this, and I shouldn't have said that because I knew it would make him or her mad. It depends on whether the man or woman talking, and I said him or her. It could be both situations, from men are abused or gaslighted. Many women are abused, gaslighted so much. So the self-doubt enables you to stay within abusive relationships, even when it's clear that the relationship is a toxic one because you are led to mistrust your own instincts and interpretations of events. Next, number three, the smear campaign, turning others against you. Narcissists keep heroines because they love to have their egos stroked and they need constant validation from the outside world to feed their need for excessive admiration and confirm their grandiose sense of self-importance. They are clever chameleons who are also people pleasers, morphing into whatever personality suits them in situations with different types of people. That is so true. So it is no surprise then that the narcissist begins a smear campaign against you not too long after the discard phase in order to paint you as the unstable one. This is usually successful with the narcissist support network, which also tends to consist of other narcissists, people pleasers, empaths, as well as people who are easily charmed. This smear campaign accomplishes three things. It depicts you as the abuser or unstable person and deflects your accusations of abuse. It deflects them, has people not even believing that you are the victim. It provokes you thus proving their instability to others and trying to argue their depiction of you. It serves as a hovering technique in which the narcissist seeks to pull you back into the trauma of a relationship as you struggle to reconcile the rumors about you with whom you actually are by speaking out against the accusations. The only way to not get pulled into the tactic is by going full no contact with both the narcissist and his or her parent. Number four, trying to make you jealous. Man, I think I've seen all of this in my lifetime. Number four, trying to make you jealous. We're talking about people holding things over your head, people having power and control over you. This is what we're talking about. So if someone holding something over your head, something you recognize all this, if you don't already know it, if you haven't already heard it, you'll know how to deal with these people. Number four, trying to make you jealous. Healthy relationships thrive on security. Unhealthy ones are filled with provocation, uncertainty, and infidelity. Narcissists like to manufacture love triangles and bring in the opinions of others to validate their point of view. They do this to an excessive extent in order to play puppeteer to your emotions. And see, like I said, people shape our brains by the way they treat. So triangulation consists of bringing the presence of another person into the dynamic of the relationship, whether it be an ex-lover, a current mistress, a relative, or a complete stranger. This triangulation can take place over social media, in person, or even through the narcissist's own verbal account of the other woman or man. The narcissist relies on jealousy as a powerful emotion that can cause you to compete for his or her affection. So provocative statements like, I wish you'd be more like her, or he wants me back into his life. I don't know what to do, are designed to excuse me, I said trigger, excuse me, please. It's designed to trigger the abuse victim into competing and feeling insecure about his or her position to the narcissist's life and in that life. So unlike healthy relationships, where jealousy is communicated and dealt with in a productive manner, the narcissist will belittle your feelings and continue inappropriate flirtations and affairs without a second thought. Triangulation is the way the narcissist maintains control and keeps you in check. You're so busy competing for his or her attention that you're less likely to be focusing on the red flags within the relationship or looking for ways to get out of the relationship. Number five, hiding their true self. The narcissist hides behind the mask of a false self, a construct of qualities and traits that he or she usually presents to the outside world. This can make it difficult to pinpoint who the narcissist abuser really or truly is. The sweet charming and apparently remorseful person that appears shortly after the abuse, or the abusive partner who ridicules, invalidates, and belittles you on a daily basis. You might think this is only a momentary lapse in humanity, but actually, it is as close as you will ever get to seeing the narcissist's true self. It's time to pick up the pieces, go, no contact, heal, and move forward. It is time. Oh my goodness. You were not only a victim of narcissistic abuse, but a provider of emotional abuse. So you got to pick it up and get out of it. And so Shahida Arabi is a writer and founder of Self-Care Haven, and she uses her expertise in psychology, sociology, gender studies, and mental health to help survivors empower themselves after emotional abuse and trauma. Oh wow, it's 1:57. Let me get to this other part here. And this is Business Insider. This is a news uh, place. I think all three of these sites are new to me today. 10 ways to stop giving people power over you, according to a psychotherapist. And this is Amy Morin, and this is January 9th, 2020, when this is published. So it's Business Insider. Let's go here. For someone has a negative influence over any aspect of your life, you're giving them power over you, and that can hold you back. Instead, establish healthy boundaries with the people around you and assume responsibility for your emotions, not theirs. Next, follow your values and realize that you're always making choices. You should be doing things for you and not to prove yourself to other people. Next, don't spend your time complaining and thinking about bad interaction. And you can visit the Business Insider here, and it goes ahead and talks about this. And anytime you allow someone to have a negative influence over the way you think, feel, and behave, you give them power over you. Sometimes it's subtle. Maybe you change the way you act around certain people because you want to please them, but it doesn't impact your life too much. Sometimes it's subtle, okay? Or maybe it's major. Perhaps you allow loved one's harsh criticism to take a serious toll on your well-being. Either way, giving away your personal power drains you of the mental strength you need to be your best. 10 ways to stop giving people power over you. Establish healthy boundaries is number one. I'm just going to read these out. And this is Business Insider, okay? So you can go there. Take responsibility for your emotions. Number three, let other people be responsible for their emotions. There you go. Number four, acknowledge your choices. Acknowledge your choices. One, two, this is a reminder. In today's webcast. Five, live according to your values. I like all of these. That's why I'm in today's reading them. Forgive and move forward. Okay, forward. Number seven. I know number seven. Okay, sign out. Number seven. Thank you for being with me. Stop trying to prove people wrong. Oh, that's a good one. Eight, don't let yourself work depend on other people's opinions. Oh, these people great. Nine, don't waste energy complaining. And 10, stop thinking about unhelpful interactions with others. Thank you so much for being here with me today. In point of view with Miss Shirley Polk, you are awesome, you are wonderful, I love you so much, and I really, really appreciate you. And I'm asking you if you will share this with the people who are friends and followers of you. Thank you. Enjoy your day. You are awesome and wonderful. Tomorrow at 2:15, please join Dr. Matt for the from the Biblical Files of Dr. Matt at 2 p.m. tomorrow, Wednesday. And then on Thursday, God willing, I'll be back at 1 p.m. for Point of View. And then Friday at 1 p.m. is the Mother's Board. I love you. Enjoy the remainder of your day.